Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la.
And now, are you ready?
A little bit of a different national anthem they played this time.
Oh man, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in here on the Beaufort's own. My name is Javon Livingston here on the play-by-play, and alongside of me, color commentary, Mr. Tristan Roberts from Well Branch Early College High School. Man, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good, man. It's going to be a good matchup tonight. You know, you got the two leading scorers in the region, Robert Watson and Samari Bonds facing off. So we'll see what happens tonight.
And we got a region matchup on the way. Philip Simmons already winning the first one at home. The Eagles trying to hold up Hampton territory and get their get back. Quickly, the tip going to Robert Watson. And, whoo, boy, you see why he's the leading scorer. Nice spin move in the lane. And the score already here early for the Iron Horses here in the purple, rocking the field. Unis here in the purple and white. The three right there from Carlio Jenkins is off the mark. Rebound from a Blackman, and the pace already high here from both of the teams here tonight. And another one already. Watson up front again. A quick two, and he got 4 points already here in just 30 seconds. So it's one of those things that you were interested in. We were looking at going over the stats and talking about, some of the keys to the game. And you saw Robert Watson's stats, and you were like, oh, this man's kind of doing a little bit of everything. And here comes Bonds trying to get himself into the score sheet. And then the long two right there, knocked down for Mr. Naeem Pope.
Yeah, Robert Watson, like you were saying, we were kind of looking at the stats before this game, and we were like, man, he's kind of in every stat category. But Beaufort High is no shab either. You know, they have three people in the top 10 for points per game: Bonds, Pope, and Cleckley. So let's see if that helps them a little bit with this with a scoring output that we know Robert Watson can have.
Yeah, and the win here would definitely shake things up and kind of give Beaufort the contention for first place here in the region. And because Philip Simmons is a little bit on the road, only lost to North Charleston. North Charleston looks like big boys in the region, kind of taking care of everybody, going undefeated. That one waved off before the whistle. And as always on the whistle, the team foul wasn't called on is trying to argue for the and one, but no go. Samari Bonds inbounds that one, pulls up another three on off for the mark. 0 for 2 on the night for Mr. Bonds. And here comes Jenkins trying to show off the handles and loses it a little bit there.
Yeah, and sometimes that just happens. You know, you get a little bit too excited trying to get up court, trying to make sure that if you get the ball up court without getting it stolen, you try to put a little razzle dazzle on the defender. We have a nice play here by the Beaufort Eagles. Bonds just not able to hit the three.
Yeah, and that makes him, 0 for 3 on the night for number 3 up front. And woo! Watson trying to go for the slam down in traffic. And, I think that's something that, Coach Huff doesn't want to see, from either team, because it's like once he starts doing that, then, he's probably going to, coerce Bonds into wanting to dunk. And,
Yeah.
he hadn't had the best of luck with those going inside of
Yeah.
the rim.
He did have one in their last game that they played, and he kind of stared the ball down when it went in. But, yeah, if Robert Watson would have hit that, not only would that Philip Simmons bench would have erupted, but, Bonds being the competitive spirit that he is, he probably would have tried to get it back on a later possession maybe right back with a pull-up three to kind of silence some momentum. So
Yeah, definitely so. And, they got to get some things going. And so far, some opportunities for Bonds coming up short. Hasn't dropped nothing yet. 0 for 3 from 3, 0 for 2 from the free throw line. So 14 points is a no-go for Samari Bonds. As that three off the mark for Mr. Peterson.
yeah, and something I noticed on that Beaufort possession is that normally they're running like a 2-3-3-2 zone whenever they play, but right now it looks like they're in man with Bonds on their main guy Robert Watson. So we'll see how the defensive change works out for them.
There they go. Nice find by Watson trying to go up front to Couchel. No go, and breaking out of the pack is Pope, and he's got 2 more. It's crazy. You just see how he just kind of emerges out of the traffic right there, like kind of like Usain Bolt. You know, most of the other guys are tied until they get to about 50 meters, and then you start to see that length start to play a factor. And Pope, he's the shorter guy, but you still see him get out there inside of traffic.
Yeah, Pope might be a little bit on the shorter side for the opponents that they face, but you know he still makes an impact. He's 6th in the region in scoring with 8.9 points per game. You know he's doing it on pretty good efficiencies too. So you know it's nice to have that, and I believe he's number 3 in blocks, or number 3 or 4 in blocks in the region as well. So he's a two-way guy that Coach Huff loves to have on the team.
Definitely love to have those two-way guys on your team. It's purple and white, passing it around, trying to find some room. Peterson almost lost the handle. Instead of going back up, elects to reset. Jenkins going one-on-one and rinse and repeat. Putting Willis inside of the spin cycle. A little bit of clean laundry there.
And Titus Peterson kind of made the stink face when he saw Jenkins do that move. You know, just oh my God, what a nice move there by Jenkins.
Yeah, that's why I love, you know, kind of being, you know, on the other side. You can see the reactions of the teammates and on the bench and the players and stuff, and the coaches as well. But you know, a lot of times when you get to these games, a lot of the traffic is on the opposite side of the scores table. So us here, without having our own booth to, you know, cover the audio up, we got to go on the far side here and to reduce as much crowd noise as we can. You know.
Yeah.
3 ball off the mark. Willis with the rebound. Blackman says, I don't want it, and hands it right back to Bonds. Cluckley pump fakes the 3. Almost avoiding the trap there inside of the corner. Trying to find some room. There goes Blackman down in the post and tack on 2.
And Blackman coming in for A.J. Newton has kind of been a surprise sub that we've seen Coach Huff make in that starting rotation, because you know A.J. Newton he was doing well in that starting rotation. He get a travel call here, but he was doing well in that starting rotation with Bonds and everything. And then I guess they tried out Blackman one game that we probably didn't cover, and it worked out well for them. And Coach Huff has liked it ever since.
Yeah, and definitely, you know, as you go throughout the season, you will find the lineups you like more and more. You know, hopefully it doesn't get too crazy, as they say in the words of Darvin Ham, and changing the Lakers lineup too often. But something that is effective, and you know, Huff, if he finds something that works for them in the matchup, he kind of exploits it. I don't think it's a, you know, an over substitution type of thing. It's more of a Bill Belichick guy. He's going to go with the guy that gives him the best chance to win, and he's going to play the matchups. And so if he looks at the lineup and he's like, hey, you know what, it's Blackman's turn tonight. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? He's going to go with Blackman. If it's Newton's turn, it's Newton's turn tonight, you know, based on their skill set. And, you know, that's what I was thinking. Nick Huff, one of the better coaches inside of the area year in and year out.
Yeah, not only that, but just like you can tell the energy that he has with his players. You know, they feel like he's not gonna try to stop them from reaching their full potential, or like what they think they can do. You know, just like the bond that he has with his players. You can see it in warm-ups when he's joking around with them and everything. The bond that he has kind of makes him a coach that you would want to play for. You know.
Definitely show, and shout out to Miss Evans checking in the chat with the Go Iron Horses and Eagles. The Iron Horses are beating you in the chat. Miss Evans in here, getting in here first, repping that purple and black. And I don't know if you want to add a little bit of iron in there, gray, you know, for the Iron Horses, but she's in here. Shout out to them. And don't forget, away fans, we are away friendly. This is a friendly chat on both sides. We are keeping the games as non-biased as we possibly can here. 14-8. Philip Simmons with the lead here. I think the biggest thing tonight so far is Samari Bonds, one of the leading scorers, is hasn't hit anything yet as time winds down. Just over a minute here in the first quarter. So, and that's one of those things that can be changed. And it's basketball, so he could, have 2 points in the first quarter, and then he could have 12 points the next quarter. You never,
Yeah,
you never know.
it's unpredictable, man. Some people have their hot nights, and some people have their off nights. But some people can have an off quarter and come back hot as ever. So it's kind of fun to see.
They're working collectively, trying to find some room. Eagles trying to pass it around the arc. They find Blackman down on the block, try to go one-on-one with Blake Darby down there, not able to get the finish. Driving, Coxell. And it's going to force the timeout right here from Coach Hub. He's going to take a moment to huddle the guys right on up. Here we got Mr. Ahmad checking in with some thumbs down. And Mr. Ahmad, who you rooting for? Are you rocking the green and white or the purple and black? Let us know here. Let's get a Go Eagles or a Go Iron Horses down there in the chat. Want to thank everybody for tuning in here. Don't forget, if you're enjoying our coverage tonight, you can always text Beaufort to 801-801 to help support our coverage of local high school sports, which come in handy when we got to pay those media fees with the playoffs right around the corner. And we got about 30 seconds left to go here inside of the first quarter. A little bit off the mark there. That's what we had to delay that clock, is we're not in sync with the actual scoreboard venue. So unofficial scoreboard going. Another foul call. So much been a clean first quarter for both teams. Only 3 combined team fouls. Trying to find some room, real close to a 5-second violation, and that's going to be the call as Pope couldn't find the room. A great inbound defense right there for the fill. I'm rolling down the 3 ball off the mark right there from Driggers. And that's going to be out of bounds. We still got 2 seconds left to go, folks. Just 2 seconds. Let's go. And Mod checking in. He's like, BHS, come on now. Act like you know who I'm rooting for, man. Don't play me. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter right here on Beaufort's own. Philip Simmons hopping out with the big lead right here live on Beaufort's own. Your score 18-8, end of the first when we return. Welcome back, everybody, here into the second quarter right here on Beaufort's own. Eagles set to do the inbound pass, a 10-point lead here early in the first half for the guys in the purple and white. So some impressive display on the offensive side here. Both teams playing well on defense in the start of the first quarter. Low field goal efficiency from Samar Bombs.
Yeah, like you said, both teams are playing pretty good on defense. But one thing I did notice with this Philip Simmons team is that they were kind of playing the opposite defense of their girls team. Their girls are running a 2-3 with the guards at the top, and their boys are running a 3-2, feeling like their bigs can get out and close out on the shooters of Beaufort High. Got a charge called here.
Yeah, don't see too many, but get one there. Yeah, those are the differences, you know, in those defenses, especially how you play it, and especially if you got the guys that you feel like can get out and, you know, close on those shooters. Nice work from Barnes trying to find his way through the traffic just a little bit to the left. And the three going down, Robert Watson. Fleckley showing off the handles a little bit, and here comes Watson calling off Cogswell, saying, I'll go ahead and handle this if he wants to get fancy with the dribbles. And they're trying to keep two on that main ball handler. Winds up in the hands of Cogswell as they come up with the steal. Trying to get it to Watson, almost looking for another long three. They're going to take their time and pass it around the arc. And now this time it's going to go rim in and out for Cogswell. Bonds with the rebound, and they're going to say, looks like Cluckley touched that line, trying to catch that pass. And Mr. Boom checking in, saying Philip Simmons with the favorite from the start. They said it's been some spotty offense from the Eagles here. What you got to say about that, Mr. Robertson?
I mean, yeah, from the first game that we covered, Beaufort, we know it's going to be like a rough patch on the offensive side of the ball when they played Ashley Ridge. Even though Ashley Ridge is a region above them, but still, you know, their offense was pretty spotty. Samari Bonds kind of on and off. He has gotten a little bit better throughout the season, but you could kind of tell that they didn't really have that established second guy behind Samari Bonds. It's kind of like it's an on and off thing for Cleckley and Pope. Whenever they're on, they're on. Whenever they're off, they're off. So, you know, it's definitely a spotty offense as we've kind of seen here. But I feel like they could probably get it together.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see there so far, Bonds continuously pulling from three. And you know what they say, you know, shooters shoot, but Bonds, off my head, it's 0 for 5 from that three-point line here. Here in the first half, hasn't been able to knock him down. And Pope this time, he's going to pull up from three, and he's not able to knock that one down as that one's tipped out of bounds. And we got my guy, Mr. DeVo Cohen, one of the great Beaufort High running backs class of 2012, checking in. Cohen Mobile Detailing, go ahead and hit him up. Still ain't sent me that ad yet, so I could play it for you. But okay, you don't want the advertising, huh? Well, you know, keep on streaming. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, you kind of brushed over about how Samari is 0 for 4 from the three. I'm kind of looking at his stats right now, and he's second in the region in the three-pointers made, but it's not really on good efficiency. He's 26 of 115 from the three, and shooting 23%. So you know, while he is shooting a lot of threes, like you said, he's not making a lot, and that might be a test to some Beaufort's body offense. Can't get some consistent offense going with just jacking up threes, you know.
Yeah, they're trying to find some way, and then that's the best look they've had is Poe going to the rack. As he's got some more. Pope has definitely been a clutch guy for them. He's the guy that they're looking to kind of completely come in second, and Bonds coming off the mark, trying to get the block there, a little LeBron-esque, but it caught all backboard. Hand might sting a little bit as he goes up for three, and that one off the mark, make him 0 for 6, back up and in.
Philip Simmons pushing the pace.
Yeah, staying aggressive, man, trying to get those possessions as much as they can and trying to force a couple of mistakes. Pope now in the rebound category. Finds some room. Bonds under the net, trying to stay aggressive long on and just hits the bottom of the rim off the mark. Wide open three, no good. Rebound, Pope grabs another. Cleckley this time, he's gonna try to knock down a three. And we're gonna get a timeout from Philip Simmons. As that three closes the gap to 4. As they're gonna take a moment to talk some things over. And they got a little bit of friendly trash talk going on inside of the chat.
Mr. Cohen said he's coming with the ass.
Yeah, he said he's coming, right? And the inbound to Watson from Jenkins. And well, referees whistle that time. It's going to change the inbound spot, and then they're going to reset the clock. So they reset it to 3:19. We're not going to have time to do that, so we're just going to let about 7 seconds roll off before we start our clock. We're at 3:12. And there we go. Watson trying to find some room. Finds a man in the corner. 3-ball off the mark for Peterson. And that's one of those things where you got to think about Beaufort, being only down by 4, and your leading scorer is basically almost over on the night. And it's not like he's over where he hasn't shot. He's shot in the ball. He's like 0 for 6 from 3, and then like 0 for 2. Excuse me, 1 for 3 inside of the post, and the 0 for 2 from the free throw line. So only hitting 1 shot so far, and he's had plenty of opportunities to kind of get a bucket. And you're only down by a couple of points, so.
I mean, yeah, that kind of attests to, like you said, Beaufort might have a spotty offense, but then when their offense is clicking on all cylinders, it's kind of hard to stop them. Even when Tamari Bonds isn't on the or isn't having the best game of his career or best game of the night, you still have Cleckley, you still have Pope. He's trying to get a tough lay here, but they get a charge call. But yeah, you still have your factors like Cleckley, Pope, Newton, Blackman that can help him in the scoring option. So.
Yeah, listen, man. Mr. Ahmad, I don't got no official stats up here. I always tell people to keep in mind that I'm also not only I'm the commentator, I'm the camera operator, the scoreboard operator, the graphics control everything. You kind of name it here, so you know what I'm saying. I don't just keeping track of the stats and trying to provide you guys the game. So yeah, you can go ahead and get your pen and your paper out and keep track for us, and you keep us updated on the stats, Mr. Ahmad. 19 to 28. Watson, 3. We're off the mark. Turnaround jumper. Willis, no good. Trying to fight for it back, winds up in the hands of Cleckley. Off-balance shot. And 2 goes. Cleckley got 3, this time off the mark. Not going to be able to knock that one down.
I don't think I've ever realized how high arcing Cleckley's shot is until tonight.
Well, he's the short guy on the court. He's got to get it up there. You got to play with all those tall players.
Yeah.
You got to do exactly whatever it is that you can. You know. Peterson dumps it down and up it goes. There's Mika Mack going up. Or Micah Mack, that's how you pronounce that. And it's air ball there by Samari Bonds. Trying to go inside traffic backwards. That one off the mark. Rebound by Odom, couldn't get it to go either. Great defense by the purple and the white. Finally, Cleckley soars in there, still not able to get it to go. Beaufort's continuously getting the offensive rebound, multiple possessions. And finally, whistle, still going to be Beaufort high ball. And here comes Bonds driving down the baseline, kicks it to Pope. Cross court to Willis, quickly closed out on. And down to Odom in the post, not able to get it to go. And that deep three off the mark to end the quarter in the half. Your score at halftime, the Iron Horse is 30, Philip Simmons 21 right here on Beaufort's own. Give Mr. Tristan Roberts a moment, try to get that halftime interview for us.
I'm here with Coach Campbell of the Iron Horses. Coach Campbell, what was kind of your game plan coming into the night in order to limit the scoring from Beaufort High?
Well, our game plan was to play this 3-2 zone where we feel really good about taking away the high post and then guarding the corner shooters, but we're not doing a great job of rebounding in it. So they're getting their threes, but then they're missing them, but we're just not doing a good job of then rebounding that miss. They're getting the rebound, they're shooting it again, they're missing it again, and then they're getting it. There's just too many offensive rebounds for them. So we're going to stay in the 3-2, but we've got to make sure we rebound in the 3-2.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for this interview. I'll let you game plan for next quarter.
Thanks, man.
And we appreciate Mr. Roberts for taking the time to get that halftime interview for us, and Mr. Campbell. And that's going to be all, folks, for halftime. We'll be right back in the second half. back, everybody, here on Beaufort's Own. Once again, it's Javon Livingston and Tristan Roberts here on the commentary. We got the second half of action between Philip Simmons and Beaufort High. High contest in the first half. Beaufort closing the gap, and then Philip Simmons extending it back out to 9 right before the final buzzer going off. Beaufort trying to keep their way in. The story of the first half. Samari Bonds not being able to knock down a 3 and going a little bit over.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, him not being able to knock down the 3, especially as their leading scorer on the team, it kind of limits their offense to the capabilities that we know that they have. But he's not been a very quality three-point shooter on the year. Brandon Blackman, it's a 2 right there. But he hasn't been a very quality three-point shooter on the year, so let's see if he can improve in the second half.
And a long 3 gets knocked down as I was adjusting the score a little bit right there. 23-33, Philip Simmons on top by 10. The 3 getting knocked down by the purple and white.
Yeah, and earlier in the chat, I think it was Mr. Boom mentioned that Robert Watson was a 40% three-point shooter, and he kind of showed it right there, pulling it from deep. It was showing that he has the range. Blackman with another 2.
Yeah, Blackman, staying aggressive there inside the post, and, his skill set, and you're seeing why Huff put him into the game for this matchup specifically. And so far, he's been great for them down low, getting those points inside of the paint. And the quarterback leads the receiver
A little bit too far.
Finish each other's sentences? Did we just become best friends? Yep. Step brothers right there. Working their way around the three-point line, and a steal from Bonds, doing what he does. He's got the one-on-one with Watson and finishes at the rim. And I tell you, that's one thing they've also been able to do. I mean, Samari Bonds is a disruptor, on the defensive side, using those long arms of his to kind of get into the passing lanes, and the handling by Philip Simmons has kind of forced that to not be the situation. He finally gets one there, and Jenkins trying to come for the block, and then the help defense right there by Blackman, and we got a scoreboard going out here in the gymnasium. So, folks, if we get a little bit off the score here a little bit later on, it's not our fault. The scoreboard going out, and the referee quickly calling the whistle, and I don't think it's a big problem. I think they might have just kicked the power surge protector down there at the scorer's table, I believe it looks like just happened. So, see if they get it back on here in a moment.
But yeah, like you were saying, Samari Bonds is kind of a disruptor, and like you said, he hasn't kind of been doing it this game. But I think that kind of attests to the defensive switch that Coach Huff made, or that they decided to make as a team. Normally they're running, like I said, a zone that gives him more opportunities to jump into passing lanes, and he doesn't really have to play a man if they're not throwing the ball to that man, that specific guy. But since Robert Watson is the main ball handler, he's not really passing the ball that much, or he's not really receiving the ball in like long passes where Bonds is normally able to disrupt, get the steals and everything. So he's kind of bringing the ball up court, and I think it's just that. I believe that since he's not getting the ball with those long passes and everything, that his man is actually running up the court and getting the ball in like handoffs and everything. He can't be as much of a disruptor as he normally is.
Yeah, and like I said, they're playing some great strategy. And like I said, you talked to Coach Campbell there at the beginning, and that was one of those things that he mentioned. And he's definitely a strategist. I think he's given the most comprehensive answer from any coach that we've kind of received all season doing those interviews, because mostly everybody's a little bit vague. Scoreboard clicked off on us. We're about 5 seconds ahead here, so we're going to start it in a moment as that 3 goes up and in. Another one for Watson, and that might put him at 40% right there.
Just shaking his head, saying that you can't leave me open right there.
He's the one knocking him down for the guys in purple. A nice find from Pope. So Blackman
having a big third quarter here for Blackman, 8.
And the three ball up, and Watson just saying, "Yeah, none not happening. It don't even matter."
Just cheesing coming down the court as he stares down the student section.
And that's the kind of guy that you need. And like I said, that's kind of the guy that Bonds has been, just the off night. And unfortunately, that's one of those things that happens in basketball. Your players get a little bit streaky. Look at Blackman in there fighting for the ball, and heck of a third quarter for him. And he's been playing well, just kind of negated by Watson, just kind of putting him up and knocking him down. And then they're going to pass it around the arc, and they're going to call the travel right there on Jenkins. Eight-point game here. Around the arc, Bonds putting another one up again off the mark. Rebound, Matt. And Coxell's got it going the other way. He's left wide open at the three-point line, not going to shoot. Gets it to his man, Driggers. Gets it back to Matt. And Coxell, this time, he's going to take it. And it bounces around and in. Another three.
Sometimes all you need is that friendly roll there on those jumpers.
Yeah, he got a little bit of a Kawhi Leonard there bouncing around on that one. And it looks like Matt got a piece of that one. Not high enough that time from Collectly. Offensive rebound, working, Driggers. Finds Watson one-on-one with Bonds. Show off the handles, the feed to Mack, and the block from Blackman. And great defensive possession. And here comes Blackman trying to go all the way, the layup and the finish. Brandon Blackman, have a quarter, sir.
And like we said, with Beaufort's spotty offense, they're going to need some more guys to step up. And Blackman has been that guy in this third quarter. I believe he has 10 to 12 in this third already.
Yeah, and then here he goes, that man Watson. I was about to say, he's the kind of person that's just been negated, and that's the person you got to have on your team to kind of slow that down. And he's not even defending Blackman. He's just like, all right, I'm gonna trade you point for point. But the problem is he's trading twos for threes. And that kind of negates all of the effort. And it looks like we got a limp from Watson right there. And hopefully he's okay. He's been a big part of this game plan and, negating everything that they're doing. And he's possibly going to come out, and I think he's going to stay in.
I think he's shaking his head to the coach.
And Bonds has a three right there off the mark again. That one goes out of bounds. And I think he'll still be all right. He kind of weirded out the coach a little bit. I think he might be all right trying to stay inside of the game with the 9-point lead.
Yeah, it looks like the coach is kind of eyeing it down to see if he will take him out or not. I think he made the decision.
Yeah, once you make the motion that try to waste part of 4 seconds of the 5-second violation to try to get a break to hope you're okay, I think coach is gonna make that decision to go ahead and try to sub you out for a moment. So 42-33. 9-point game with just under 3 minutes left to go. Philip Simmons got the lead, and they've had it all night here. Driggers dribbling around Pope, and Newton getting a piece of it, but here comes the foul. And it looks like Driggers will go to the line. And don't forget, folks, you can always catch the Local Hoops Report podcast hosted by Justin, Jarrett, Wes, Kerr, and crew to get the roundup of all the sports in the Loco area as they cover it all, breaking down all the games, and they got highlights and actions and everything that you can name. Special guest coaches, Myself, I jump in there sometimes. Tristan jumps in there sometimes.
Yeah, I might have to join back again. I haven't been there in a minute, so I have to go say what's up to Wes and the guys.
Yeah, with me, if I've been out of the game, I haven't really chimed in because I haven't, covered any games, so I can't really have any insight. These guys are, full in it.
Everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere. He's spreading that tree branch out as far as he can, and getting somebody at every game possible, and getting them to chime in and give them that feedback so they can cover these games. And it's just great work what Justin and the crew do over there on the Loco podcast. And he names each one for each sport. You got the the Loco Lowdown, and you got the Hoops Report podcast, and the Loco Grind for wrestling. And they break down a lot here in this Beaufort County, Hampton, Ridgeland area. Substitution, there goes number 15, Bryce Ellington. He's in while Watson is out. And the 3-ball off the mark as Driggers tried to get him one, and that Ellington is a dangerous name coming from that Charleston way. I remember playing one of the Ellingtons in high school, and it was funny because at Berkeley, and we were chasing him down, and one of our teammates got a hold of his jersey, and I was coming for the clean-up hit because he was just dragging him. And as soon as I left my feet to clean him up, he just dropped. So I just ate a face full of dirt and completely whiffed because he was just smart to just not take the extra hit, and he just ducked because he's he couldn't go nowhere, and he saw me coming, and he was just yeah, nah. A little bit over a minute left here inside of the third quarter. Trying to find some room. Ellington showing off the handles, working on Cleckley, and almost a highlight. That one rolls out of the rim as slow as possible.
We think about that one all night, man. That could have been a highlight that he could have posted for some college scouts to see, and it just rolled out just a little bit.
Now, look at that. We got the Loco checking in inside of the comments. Look at the Loco media there. Pope trying to get one to go off of the baseline. Ellington, the nice drop off, yeah. Nice work getting some buckets there for Blake Darby. And here comes Bonds trying to go back, the other way. I was a little bit slow on the camera. It looked like Darby almost palmed his forehead. Just a little bit there.
He kind of came through that hole like a running back, tucked the ball, just put his shoulder down a little bit, tried to go for the jelly.
Yeah. Bonds knocks down the first of two. Once again, clean game. Not too many fouls called here tonight. 23 seconds, and Philip Simmons has 3 forward total for both teams here. So Driggers are being guarded closely by Cleckley, taking their time, looking for the final shot here. Ellington has it, stepping back, showing off the handles. And Bonds aggressive in the foul call, and emphatic as he runs all the way down to the end of the court. And we got 4 seconds. We're a little bit off, folks. There's 4 seconds left to go here. Ellington going to try to get that final shot, and the steal from Bonds puts it up, and that one off the mark and going in the stat column as another one, decreasing that percentage ever so slightly for Mr. Bonds here tonight. That's going to be the end of the third quarter, folks, right here on Beaufort's Own. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right on back. welcome back, everybody. Time for the fourth quarter right here on Beaufort's own. And we got it rolling right here in the fourth quarter. Oh, looks like we don't got that clock started for you. There we go. So we are about 10 seconds behind here on the clock, and we'll catch that up for you soon as we can. But we got it rolling. Beaufort trying to get the comeback. Here's Bonds for three, and he knocks it down. And finally getting one to go, and that's a sight you probably don't want to see from Philip Simmons to start the fourth quarter if he can get hot here near the end of the game, especially with Watson on the bench.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my main points coming into this quarter. I wanted to see how Philip Simmons' offense would do with Robert, with their main scorer out, and it kind of looks like they're not falling apart, but it's not as like ran through one person as we seen earlier with Watson. You know, he was kind of just bringing it down the court, shooting and initiating the offense and everything. But it kind of seems like they're still trying to find that other guy in this offense in order to initiate the offense that they want to run.
Yeah, and it looks like they're actually just kind of, like you said, like they're actually just kind of running an offense, whereas Watson is just like, all right, I'll shoot a three.
I mean, why not, man? Shooting 40% from three on the year, 18.8 points per game.
I don't think he's at 40 right now. I think he's above 40 right now.
Might be.
I personally, my feeling right now, because he's knocking those down.
Yeah, he had a little bit rough first half. I think he missed like one or two, but he surely did get it together in halftime. I don't know what adjustment he made, but.
And I mean, that's one of those things, man. Shooters just gotta shoot. You know what I'm saying? So, a little bit of a moment, and he got it going, and now it's that time. Samari Bonds, he's got to find his stroke here as he wants to try to get his Eagles back into the game. Looks like he almost sounded like he got a little bit of piece of that ball there. And Ellington kicks it to the corner. Three wide open, no good for Barton. He's off the mark. Another wide open three from Philip Simmons, and Driggers can't get it to go. And they're taking turns, kicking it back. Darby the rebound to Ellington. And Ellington says, I'm just going to go in. The tip back, Darby just winning down here on the offensive boards. And I don't think he would have been stopped unless he fell down, just using the height there. That's Darby, listed the junior, listed as 6'8", 220.
Oh, my gosh.
Mountain of a man in high school hoops, man.
And speaking of that guy, Robert Watson checks back into the game.
Yeah, and here he goes, and so he's definitely gonna, and it looks like he's moving too, so he might be, sounds like he might be okay, but he don't got to do too much movement. If his teammates are gonna knock it down, and especially to shoot a three, all he got to do is stand in the corner and knock him down. Watson didn't get that one to go. They get the offensive rebound, not able to get it on the follow. And Blackman once again getting in there. It's the Pope. And high traffic pass right there, trying to get it to Willis. It was a little bit of a rough one.
Philip Simmons doesn't have any of their big men, and they're kind of all sitting on the bench resting, so they're kind of going running a small ball lineup right now.
Yeah, they're just probably trying to stay aggressive on the defense because Beaufort, for the most part, and there goes a three from Bonds. And, possibly might be starting to heat up here in the fourth quarter as he's kind of going over and now 2 for 2 here inside of the fourth quarter. Trying to get it going. Looking at traffic, kicks to Cluckley. Cluckley puts up a three off the side of the rim.
Ready to split the double team there.
Yeah, and they want small ball because, for the most part, that's kind of where Beaufort's at. I mean, Blackman's one of their bigs, but, preferably, you got Newton, on the bench here for tonight, so they try to go for a small ball lineup, and obviously Bonds is their scorer, so he happens to be taller, but he's the one that they want to get going, and there goes another three, and knocked down. And here comes the timeout. And this time, actually, the timeout is going to come from Coach Huff. And usually, a run like that, you see Samari Bonds finally starts to knock him down. You would think Coach Campbell
Yeah.
would have called the timeout, but Coach Huff was like, hey, man, we got it going, man. We got to get right.
Yeah, I always like to joke with Coach Huff saying that every time we come here, it's a thriller, and it's looking like another one in the making if Samari Bonds can keep this up. So,
Yeah, he's definitely been knocking them down, pouring them here inside of the fourth quarter. We're under 5 minutes left to go. Can Philip Simmons hold on? They've had the lead, and then the foul going the other way.
they called it a travel. Looked like he bumped his arm, but
Coach Campbell trying to argue his point. It's like, what are you looking at? Did you see that? He went all over the sign language on a little bit like that. And correctly guarded by Driggers. And Blunt into DeAndre Blunt into the game, kicks it back to Bonds, and another three for Samari Bonds. He's got the house going out. We got a 2-point game right here on Beaufort zone. It's gonna come to the end, and let's see if Robert Watson can keep going for these Iron Horses, dressed out in the purple, and they're playing close defense on him. What's it called?
you know, Robert Watson, ever since he's gotten back in the game, he hasn't really brought the ball up the court at all. I think they're trying to get him to kind of nurse that leg a little bit, save it for when he actually needs to shoot the ball. Like right now, it's a little off, but he hasn't really been bringing the ball up the court anymore. It's just that's what kind of was stopping Beaufort. You know, he's bringing the ball up in the middle of the court. Blackman ties the game up here.
And we got a tie ball game, folks. And I was waiting for you to finish your point. I didn't want to interrupt you, but if you watch Watson when he tried to run full speed for a moment, it was kind of gimpy. It looks like he's okay, but it's a little gimpy. And then Watson, he gets in there right now. And that's up for the lead for two. 51-49, and so this one is going to come to the wire. What was going to look like a Philip Simmons blowout. Blackman working, gets his own rebound, trying to go back up the and one to the line goes Blackman. And folks, we got a game right here on Beaufort's own, and I believe I awarded the wrong points, folks, and I'm going to get it right back. That probably kills the excitement for everybody back at home, but the score is 51-51 all. I apologize, folks. I'm tuning into the game and I'm hitting the wrong points here, and that's probably terrible on my part, but 51-51, 3 minutes and 3 seconds left on the clock. 51-51. I apologize. I'm on it, Ahmad. You leave me alone, man. I'm enjoying the game just as much as you are as Blackman knocks that one down.
And I believe Blackman, if Beaufort can come out with this W, I think Blackman is Beaufort's MVP right now. His second half has been second to none. I mean, Bonds had a good little run at the beginning of the fourth, but Blackman's third and fourth has been the main reason why Beaufort's kind of back in this game right now.
And they're battling. Watson trying to do it by himself, and they're going to call the foul inside of the lane. I thought he almost had an and one there, but
call it a travel.
Call it a travel. And the block coming from Darby, but the whistle. And like I said, still, pretty much a clean game. Only 14 fouls between the two up between the both.
And Philip Simmons is kind of questioning these refs right now. They called the travel on Watson, which they didn't believe was a travel. And right there, that block by Darby was kind of clean, in my opinion, at least. Looked like he had all ball, but they called it a foul.
Yeah, and now Darby going to get subbed out for Cogshaw. And yes, sir, Mr. Boom, the score is correct right now, 53. Well, you said 52-51. It's now 53-51. Beaufort on top. As I don't believe Bonds has missed a shot here in the fourth quarter. That's been the complete part of the turnaround, and why they've been down is because it was the complete opposite for most of the game. And there goes Watson, and off the front of the rim, rebound Blackman.
That leg might be hurting his shot.
And there goes a heat check right there from Bonds, a little bit off the mark, and they're going to say going the other way, Philip Simmons ball. And I want to say, you know, a big piece of their comeback is Samari Bonds coming on hot and knocking down a couple of threes here in the fourth quarter, but Blackman's been kind of playing strong all game in your mind. You know what I'm saying? On the Beaufort side, we know who the player of the game would be for Philip Simmons. It's obviously Robert Watson. And the foul call, so Mr. Mack is going to go to the line. But we know it'll be Robert Watson for Philip Simmons if Philip Simmons, you know, wins the game. But for Beaufort, who would you say would you favor more? The hot streak, the hot and cold streak, Samari Bonds coming on in the fourth quarter, or Blackman, who's kind of been doing it, you know, pretty much all game?
I would say Blackman. You know, Blackman was, I believe, some of their first points of the game. Other than that Cleckley three, I think Blackman had like six in the first, and he had a hot streak of like 10, 12 in that third quarter, and now he's streaking again in this fourth, bringing them closer and closer, and to the point where they have the lead now. So you know, my choice would be Blackman.
Yeah, and Blackman's definitely doing good, and he's been doing it on both ends, definitely banging inside of that paint, getting those rebounds, allowing them to get those second chance opportunities. And Cleckley looks like he's got a lane, going to drive, going under and in.
What a tough finish there by Cleckley, up and under.
And this is a big game right here for Beaufort. This is, you know, eventually going to wind up coming to a chance of, you know, getting that second chance. And the reason to give them a chance at first, if they can take care of
fine there
Charleston.
by Watson.
And you got to finish those. You got to finish those. Not able to get the third chance points right there. And finally, Bonds comes up with it and gets to his man, Cleckley. Call a one, and still nowhere near the bonus. Both teams at three, so 2 fouls to give for both teams with just over a minute left to go.
Coach Huff always has me in these nail-biter games, man. I can't go down for my interviews in time.
Bonds, the quick three off the mark, getting a little bit trigger happy here in the final moments in the jump ball. And I think he's going to argue that I think Campbell called a timeout immediately, and then they're going to give him a timeout points there. And don't forget, folks, if you're enjoying our coverage of tonight's game, you can always text Beaufort to 801-801 to help support our coverage of local high school sports. That is Beaufort. It's 801-801. We are 100%. We are 501c3 nonprofit. We offer all of our coverage to the high schools, public high schools in the area, free of charge. So your donations definitely help us afford things like new equipment and those streaming media fees when it comes to playoff times that we have to pay when we go on the road. And so we're covering multiple teams all the way from 1 all the way up to 4A here that we have in our beautiful Beaufort County. So text Beaufort to 801-801. Watson, he's got it. Trying to find some room, dumping it off. Give it back to Watson. Three ball is up and down for Watson. And the game is tied, folks, 56 all, 45 seconds, under 45 seconds, and rolling here in the nest on Ladies Island, South Carolina. Beaufort High School trying to hold on, trying to get the region win against Philip Simmons. And here comes Blunt trying to find some room, almost getting trapped towards that baseline. And they're going to say a touch still, Beaufort high ball. We're going to let it roll here for a second. 27 seconds on the clock. 27 seconds on the clock. Trying to find Bonds. Bonds thinking about going all the way. The right-hander is good. Watson has it. He's trying to find some room. Coxell to the corner to Driggers. Nowhere to go. Bonds on the defense. Driggers puts it up and down. Driggers has got it. Philip Simmons with the lead in the timeout by Coach Huff. Oh my God. What is going on with the score? Why isn't it's 58-61, folks? I'm not. We got 58-59. I got the score off. I apologize. I'm so sorry, folks, for our viewers at home that I'm messing up on the scoreboard here. The score is 59, Philip Simmons, 58, Beaufort. I apologize, folks, for the viewers at home that are watching that I got that messed up. It is 59-58, Philip Simmons on top, 1 point. They just adjusted the clock. 5 seconds left to go here in the game. (59-58), Philip Simmons. 5 seconds left to go here in the game. Both teams have 2 fouls to give here, so they can force them to shoot the free throws for this. And Beaufort has 4 players running from the baseline. They get it to Cleckley. Cleckley, he's got it. The tip pass from Watson sends it out of bounds, and he just slapped it instead of trying to take the steal. So we got 0.7. We don't have milliseconds on our scoreboard, so it's 0.7. We're just going to put 1 on the clock. It's 0.7 here inside of the stadium since we don't have milliseconds on our scoreboard here. It's 1 second left to go. And Watson could have possibly came away with the steal on that one to keep it alive, but he just kind of went, just to slap it out of bounds, just playing defense there. But they could have also give up the foul, but you also don't want to take it up to that risk. But high school leagues, I mean, it's a 50-50 shot. Most of the free throw percentage here is all the 40 to 50% between these high school basketball players. They give a shout out to Mr. Searson over there checking in low key on the other side, enjoying the game. Look like he's too excited over there. Right there at the last second. The Beaufort High super fan over there. And this is going to be it, and this is going to have to be the quickest shot ever. And Willis is going to call a timeout as there is nowhere to go. So they already took their 4th, and then that was their their 3rd timeout right there. So 2 timeouts left to go here for Beaufort. Don't forget, folks, we are looking for people to join us here on Beaufort's Own for basketball season. Don't forget, we got baseball, soccer, softball, everything, you name it, here on Beaufort's Own. So we love to have students to be able to help us out. We meet on Thursdays down at the Beaufort Digital Corridor at 4 p.m. Excuse my stutter there, as I noticed I put 2 S's in Thursday right there. Thursdays at the Beaufort Digital Corridor downtown. And 0.7 seconds on the clock. Willis to do the inbounding for the Eagles, trying to find somewhere to go. And it's going to look like they're going to get somebody to try to wipe the floor real quick, because they got a wet spot here. And so some more time to talk. Mr. Amari Patterson checking in the chat. Shout out to Mr. Patterson, the young freshman wide receiver there on the varsity football team for the Beaufort Eagles, joining us here inside of the chat. Yeah. This is one of those things where this is a big game for both of these teams because Philip Simmons can clear the hurdle that can meet Beaufort High and kind of get better chances to be able to get first place in the region. They just got to go handle business against North Charleston, and the same thing against Beaufort. They can split, and then hope one of these teams can get swept and they can kind of go head to head. But both of these teams still very much alive for first place, and Philip Simmons' chances is really high. I believe if we probably had analytics right now with 0.7 seconds left to go, it's probably like a 97%, 99% chance that Philip Simmons is going to win this game with less than a second left to go. So they got to get this shot off, and they got to get it off fast. Does Beaufort. Willis once again to inbound. Trying to find somewhere to go. He gets to Cleckley. The steal by Jenkins. And Philip Simmons is going to win the ball game, folks. Philip Simmons with the victory right here on Beaufort's own. What a thriller here at the Nest. They're going to win it by 1 point here in enemy territory. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Don't go anywhere just yet, as we still got that post-game interview coming up here in a moment between Tristan Roberts and Coach Campbell here after we do the post-game handshake and the coaches talk. You see them talking there at half court. Give us just one moment here. And Coach Campbell has Driggers with them down on the sideline.
Ignored the pressure and just got the bucket. Yes, sir.
That's nice, man. Y'all kind of had an injury going in, and you kind of were the main point guard. How did you take over that role in order to cover for Robert Watson there?
Well, we needed a guy to step up, and so I just did what Coach told me and stepped up and got the job done.
All right, thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank
Good job, Corbin.
All right, and Coach Campbell.
Wait for me, Corbin.
All right, Coach Campbell. You kind of had a game plan that you wanted to improve on in the second half. What did you talk to your guys about with that? What did you talk to your guys about at half?
Yeah, we stayed in the 3-2, and then number one? Bonds got really hot. He made 4 straight threes on us, so we had to go man-to-man. That kind of slowed him down, and then we got in a hole, and then, Corbin made that big shot. He's working really hard this season, so I'm super proud of him. But, we gutted it out. Good teams win on the road, even in tough conditions, and giving up the lead. So, that's a testament to the team and kind of how hard we've been working and how quality of a team that we have.
All right, well, thank you, Coach. I'll let you go celebrate this one with your team.
Thanks, man. Here we go.
That was Tristan Roberts down there on the sideline. Once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in on here on Beaufort's Own. An absolute thriller to the end. Philip Simmons wins 59-58 right here on Beaufort's Own. That's going to do it for the night, folks. Once again, thank you for tuning in. We got the region wrestling matchups coming in tomorrow, so don't forget, if you are a wrestling fan, we got the region dual tournament tomorrow night. Right here live on Beaufort's Own. That's going to do it for tonight. My name is Javon Livingston, your sideline reporter and color commentary, Mr. Tristan Roberts. Thank you, and have a good